Hello, hello, everybody. Just give me a moment here. Waiting for Instagram to connect. There we go. Okay, so I am here to talk to y'all about Spikenard. So I've got this little bottle, 5 ml bottle of Spikenard. And so for those of you who are into the Latin names, I don't know if there are any of you into that, Nardo Stakis Jetta Mansi. Okay, hopefully I pronounced that correctly. So that is the Latin name. So Spikenard here. The reason why I want to talk about Spikenard today, I was reading the verse of the day, and this is actually referenced. Spikenard is referenced quite frequently in the Bible, but it's referred to as nard. And so it is Holy Week. I'm just going to pop this over here for a moment so I can. So for those of you who are not in my Facebook group, if you check out John chapter 12, this is where Jesus goes to Bethany and they're doing a dinner in Jesus's honor. And so Martha is serving, and Lazarus, so it's at Lazarus's house. And Mary took a pint of pure nard, an expensive perfume. She poured it on Jesus's feet and wiped his feet with her hair. And the house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. One of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, who was later to betray him, objected. Why wasn't this perfume sold and the money given to the poor? It was a year's worth of wages. And so basically, I just wanted to chat a little bit about this oil because it is the emotional aspect is the oil of gratitude, which I find to be so fitting because, Lazarus was resurrected from the dead, and so there was a lot to be grateful for, and not to mention what Jesus did for all of us, and so. This oil, I want to talk, obviously it has some historical and biblical roots, no pun intended, but it also has some incredible benefits, and chemistry and science is really fascinating with this particular oil. It's really quite different than a lot of the other essential oils that exist. And so there's a lot I want to say about spikenard. So hopefully you will stay for the whole video and learn a little bit more about this oil. Now, I'll be honest, the first time I opened up spikenard and I smelled it, I thought it smelled like dirty socks, and I just didn't understand why people were so excited about it. But kind of like geranium was another one that when I first opened it and I smelled it, I was like, oh gosh, this is like super pungent, and I don't really know how I feel about this, but it's really grown on me. Again, no pun intended. So, spikenard, what's unique about spikenard is that it has 170 different compounds, and 95% of those compounds are in like a less than 1%. So it is, if not the most complex, I think it actually might be the most complex chemistry, or let me see here. So it has some of the most complicated chemistry of any essential oil. Of these components, like I said, more than 95% exist at less than 1%. I'm feeling crooked here. Get that straightened out. So, almost every class of essential oil component is represented in spikenard, including alcohols, aldehydes, ketones, oxides, esters, monoterpenes, and sesquiterpenes. This great diversity of chemistry suggests a plethora of uses for spikenard oil. The advantage of an essential oil being diverse is the potential to accomplish many different outcomes or addressing more needs in general. So kind of like a Swiss Army knife. So let me get this back over here in the center. So basically, spikenard is an incredibly versatile oil. It's really phenomenal for anything to do with the skin. And hopefully I can kind of stay on track because, again, there's a lot that I want to cover here. But when we look at, let's first talk about the physical properties. I do definitely want to talk about the emotional properties because that's what I find to be really fascinating given the passage, that I just read. So, um, spikenard is in the valerian family, and it's steam distilled from the rhizomes. So rhizomes are actually like horizontal root systems. So that's, when I said it was growing on me, that's why I said no pun intended. Um, so common primary uses: aging skin, insomnia. So if any of y'all are feeling the vibes from the full moon, eclipse, and all of the different things that are happening, the solar flares, if you have spikenard, it can help you to get a good night's rest. It's also good for nervousness. It's used as perfume. So I personally would probably blend it with something else. To, so I'm going to take a drop of blue tansy because I've still got some of that and see how that combination smells. Sometimes you kind of have to play around with different combinations. And actually, in this particular book that I'm reading from, Modern Essentials, it says that it blends well with lavender, patchouli, pine, and vetiver. So, what I have to say, blue tansy and spikenard together are quite nice. So, historically, spikenard gets its name from the spike-shaped rhizomes or spikes of the plant that the oil is distilled from. Now, we source our spikenard from, so it's kind of like the base of the Himalayas, if I recall correctly. So let me see if I can back it up here and give you a little bit more on. So yeah, so it is native to the subalpine and alpine regions of the Himalayan mountains. Spikenard is traditionally used to anoint people of high honor and support Indian Ayurvedic health practices. So it's got a woody, musty aroma and promotes clean and healthy skin. So there's all of that. And I don't know who's saying hello on Facebook. I can just see Facebook user. So hello. Please let me know who you are. And okay, so back to the historical uses. So highly prized in the Middle East during the time of Christ, spikenard is referred to several times in the Bible. Spikenard was also used in the preparation of nardinum, a scented oil of great renown during ancient times. Oh, hey Sharon, what's up? We're talking about spikenard, the oil of gratitude, which, as I said, I don't know if you caught this part, but the first time I smelled it, I thought it smelled like dirty socks. So this oil is known for helping in the treatment of allergic skin reactions. And according to Victoria Edwards, this oil redresses the skin's physiological balance and causes permanent regeneration. That sounds really good. Spikenard may also help with allergies, candida, flatulent indigestion, insomnia, menstrual difficulties, migraine, nausea, neurological diseases, rashes, staph infections, stress. Hopefully I can pronounce this correctly. Tachycardia, tension, and wounds that will not heal. So body systems affected are emotional balance and skin. So definitely, it's described, the aromatic influences is described as earthy, animal-like fragrance, balancing, soothing, and harmonizing. So there you have some of the physical properties, and I may have put a blue handprint on the page because blue tansy. Anyways, so spikenard being the oil of gratitude. Let's straighten this out a little bit more. So spikenard encourages true appreciation for life. It addresses patterns. Oh, thank you. I hope you know how to pronounce. Did I pronounce it correctly? Tachycardia? I hope so. So it addresses patterns of ingratitude where individuals see themselves as targets of bad luck or victims of their life circumstances. This perception can often lead to feelings of blame and anger. Spikenard encourages the soul to surrender and accept life exactly as it is. It invites individuals to let go and find an appreciation for all of life's experiences. By opening the soul to acceptance and gratitude, spikenard assists individuals in seeing the deeper meaning in their lives. It supports them in feeling joy and happiness for other people as well as for themselves. It invites individuals to expand by fully letting go of resistance, anger, and blame. Gratitude is an expression of complete acceptance and abundance. A grateful person is content with what they have. Spikenard teaches individuals to be grateful for their challenges as well as their blessings. It also assists individuals in transcending their sorrows through being grateful for their present life circumstances. Through complete surrender and acceptance, the soul may be brought into peace and harmony. So, again, going back to the Bible passage that I shared at the beginning, John, is it John chapter 3? John chapter 12. I think it's John 12:3. Where Jesus is being anointed with spikenard 6 days before Passover. And what an incredible oil, that teaches surrender and acceptance. Because, all the disciples were like, no, don't do all of this. And Jesus just accepted his fate, right? He wasn't trying to change it. And with gratitude being such an expression of complete acceptance and abundance, this is something we can all really learn from, right? Because we all have challenges in life that sometimes we have resistance to. And sometimes it's our resistance to what is that creates our own personal hell, right? So being able to have gratitude for the challenges, because it's really the challenges that make us stronger, more resilient people. And again, this oil encourages true appreciation for life. So, I have a quote in my email signature, and hopefully I'll be able to think of it off the top of my head. But wear gratitude like a cloak, and it will feed every corner of your life. So, the more we are able to be in that vibration of gratitude, the easier things flow, right? So, not always easy being human, but definitely it helps with, those challenges that do come up versus resisting and being like, why me? Why did this happen to me? And, like all of that stuff that can come up, right? So, this book here is The Healing Intelligence of Essential Oils, the Science of Advanced Aromatherapy. And in this particular section that I want to kind of reference here, because it's talking about spikenard. Number one, there's a section where it's talking about psoriasis and how spikenard, because it's good for skin regeneration, basically essential oil treatment, slow down, Ashley, aims to rectify virtually every skin problem. The main agent to do so is Nardostachys jetamansi, or spikenard. So this oil was originally recommended by Dietrich Gumbel, the pioneer of an this is a big word, y'all, anthroposophical approach to skincare. I've never seen that word in my life. Please pardon if I totally botched it. So spikenard essential oil is extremely well tolerated and regenerates the skin most gently. The original impulse to use this oil for skin treatments most likely arose from there's that big word again, anthroposophical fascination with plants with an open, in other words, eternal life cycle. So spikenard can be complemented by minute quantities of mountain savory with its forceful reanimating components, niuli, which, that's an oil that we don't have all the time, but it has been offered as a product of the month. And it's also in the DDR Prime blend. With its unrivaled restorative powers, which help to balance nervous and endocrine systems. So you've got that. And then there's a section which is a little bit over my head because it's talking about Chinese medicine and autoimmune conditions, so the section is autoimmune conditions, a Chinese medical perspective. So essentially they're talking about autoimmune conditions and how they manifest typically in the skin and the joints. And so basically, containing excessive qi, so it's WEIQI. So anchoring a hypervigilant immune system is the first step in the treatment of autoimmune conditions. So autoimmune is basically where immune system is on overdrive, right? So oils are applied to the base of the spine, especially to the right and left of the lower spine. Massaging with root oils such as spikenard and vetiver in a downward motion along the lumbar spine moves defensive energy downward and contains excessive immune response. Drawing energy down and inward reduces outward directed defensive energy, we key, ameliorating the hypervigilance of the immune system. Astringent oils such as cistus or cypress help to draw energy inward. Treatment with these essential oils often breaks open stagnant states of the mind, exposing the core issues underlying the condition. So, it's also important to adhere to a diet that does not stimulate defensive energy, and should be free of highly stimulant spices such as garlic. Now, that's interesting because we think garlic is really good for you, but not all the time if you've got a hyper vigilant immune system. So, that's kind of what I have for y'all on spikenard. Again, when you get this oil, or if you already have it, you may not be like, wow, this smells amazing. Let me go put it in the diffuser. But it does have some incredible properties, and you can use it for prayer, meditation. You can put it on the back of your neck. If you don't love the smell, you can put it on the bottoms of your feet, and or like on the spine. And let me see what else we have for suggested uses here. I'm just gonna pop this over here for just a moment. Okay, so tranquil, uplifting aroma. It's definitely grounding. So the rhizomes again are the where the oil comes from, is like from the root of the plant. So um, combining it with a hydrating cream to soften and smooth the skin if you're looking to regenerate your skin, or just anti-aging, or you can add 1 or 2 drops to your favorite cleanser or anti-aging product to promote healthy glowing skin. This is one for aromatic or topical use, not one for internal use. And that's about all I have for spikenard. So I hope you learned something new about this really unique oil that again has some of the most complex chemistry of all of the essential oils. So it's kind of like your Swiss Army knife, like frankincense or copaiba, where you get a lot of different benefits from chemical constituents kind of all rolled into one. So, if anyone has any questions, please don't be shy. And wow, 17 minutes, a little bit longer than I expected, but lots to say about this beautiful oil. So, thank you for being here with me, and happy Holy Week.